CheckPoint has developed an AI that is learning to read stories from scratch. It's doing pretty well, but with only occasional issues.
It's gonna have to figure out how to just go in the middle of a story.
Yeah. We're inspired by the insect kingdom.
All right. I think.
See how I brought that back?
I think we got there by the end of it. So
Yeah, we did. We
stop
did.
recording?
Yeah. What a weird.
That yeah. First time, every time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, perfect. So interestingly enough, I think I ate something a little funny on Saturday, and my stomach's been dodgy.
Funny haha or?
Well, it's just like what I wrote, what I added to the intro, which Paul actually wrote. My stomach hurts, implying that I'd been eating a lot of ice cream. It was a joke, but now my stomach actually does hurt. So.
Oh my God! Do you have that power?
I hope not.
Are you like? Are you like the Death Note, but for upset tum?
I ate something funny on Saturday, and then I went to bed on Saturday night, and my stomach was just hurting all night, and I had a bad sleep because of it. And I was like laying in bed trying to sleep, and I could only be comfortable in one very specific position. And I was like, the irony of the fact that, you know, like I led the writing on the script where Cam says, what did you bring back from the abyss? Severe gastrointestinal distress. I'm laying there in bed with what I would describe as moderate to severe gastrointestinal distress was not lost on me.
We've replaced Graham with a speak and spell. Let's see if she notices.
It's called psychosomatic illness. You can make yourself nauseous. You ate a bunch of Japanese snacks on LRL. Was it that? I doubt it. It might have been something in my lunch. Maybe just like a teeny bit of cross-contaminations kind of upset my tum. Like not full-blown food poisoning, but because, yeah, my stomach was feeling meh. And then I ate dinner and it was feeling real bad. But then it was feeling better by yesterday afternoon. Now it's not feeling good again.
And that brings us to now.
Method acting for juice seems to not have paid off.
There's nothing wrong with the juice.
Yeah. We got very nice juice for those props.
Yeah. Do you have a sensitive stomach, Kathleen? No, I actually have a very tough stomach. So I feel like a lesser person would probably just be out with food poisoning now.
Blame the mochi. I mean, there's like.
No, that was nauseating, but it wasn't gonna. It didn't go into my stomach. I ejected it from my mouth. There's no way that could have made me sick. Aside from the.
Also, this could be a different thing.
Huh? Yeah.
Whatever's giving you tummy grumbles now might be different from whatever was on Saturday night.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, people were like, I know what kind of juice they were using. Well, because here's the deal with we bought Happy Planet juice because it wasn't too expensive because we just needed prop juice. You can buy that kind of like filthy expensive juice, but it's like $8 a bottle, and I'm not into that kind of findom.
Happy Planet was like
$3.50 or something.
Yeah. When there's the juice that's like, yeah, Happy Planet, like Happy Planet used to be the like
fancy expensive
expensive juice, and they're like, nope, we've solved that.
Yeah.
Man, now you can buy $8 juice, which is stupid.
How much is the thing of like Juicu up at?
Oh, it's like $10.
It's insane.
Who spends $10 on juice?
A lot of people, evidently.
Morons. I'm sorry. Like
you know how many Juicu bars there are around town?
Well, I mean, okay, apparently Juicu is like funded by a guy who has more money than brains.
Oh.
So we'll see how long that.
Must be nice.
Did he also make the Juicero?
Oh.
No. Like.
That's a funny joke.
You can.
Is my mic not on?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just, like, who spends $10 on juice? Like, if you want to spend $10 on juice, I'm not going to stop you. I just think that's insane. Although, I know a similar argument, who's going to spend $5 on coffee?
People spend their money where they want to spend it.
Exactly. So I shouldn't cast aspersions on people who buy $10 bottles of juice. I just can't afford that, because that's insane.
My mic was indeed off. I could have sworn I put it on, but I was wrong.
That'd be good juice.
So,
the bean water, though.
Yeah.
So, the stories. The ones we talked about on the show. This one, whoopsies. This one's pretty straightforward. Yeah, Realtek VR made iOS ports of the Tomb Raiders 1 and 2. And then they announced, yeah, we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 on Steam for 60 FPS and all that. And Square Enix was like, excuse me, what? And they're from Quebec, so like the English in their statement isn't like totally perfect, but they said, Our recent research studies and reviews on Tomb Raider 3 were unwelcome, although those rights are protected with fair dealing and Canadian copyright law. So fair dealing, like I said, it's like Canadian fair use. It does cover stuff like research, news reporting, commentary, the same sort of things that fair use
It's a little more
supposedly
restricted
covers.
than fair use.
It's a little bit more
yeah.
restrictive, yeah. But like, Square Enix isn't based in Canada, so I don't know if that's relevant. But like, fair dealing doesn't cover, we're going to release an HD remake of your game because we have access to the assets without telling you. Like, that's not what that is.
The only thing I can think of is that because they were planning on releasing it as a free update, that somehow they thought it would be okay.
Only free if you already owned the old ones.
Yeah. But like but it's like, but it was like buying the version on Steam, so it's like they wouldn't be getting any money from it. So it wasn't like a commercial proposition for them, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of as to why they thought it would have been okay. But yeah.
Kind of surprised Aurora doesn't have like a French press or something for good coffee.
We have a very nice coffee maker, actually.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice. It's a drip coffee maker, but it's a very nice drip coffee maker. A French press is just, there's too much procedure.
In fact, I believe
We had a French press at the last moon base.
in order to, as an endorsement of our coffee maker, no, I'm not going to say Serge uses this coffee maker because,
No,
he
because
has
he-
much, but he had a friend that he was saying was looking for a coffee maker, and he asked us what coffee maker we had so that he could recommend it to his friend.
I'm pretty sure
It's not good enough for Serge, but it's good enough for
Well, I mean,
Serge's
here's-
I'm
friend.
pretty sure it was the top pick on Wirecutter.
Here's why we have a fancy coffee maker instead of a French press. You can make a lot more coffee in a fancy coffee maker than a French press. French press kind of taps out at 4 cups.
You need a very large French press. Yeah, and a cup is not, I drink more than a cup.
Yeah.
At a
And we have one with like a thermos, so like the leftovers stay warm, which is great if like 12 people, which is how many people work here, show up for a loading ready live day and all want coffee at the same time. It's a practicality thing for us.
But yes. Anyway, yeah, with the Tomb Raider thing, as folks in Canada in the in the media landscape, who, to be honest, a reasonable portion of our material does rely to some extent on fair dealing as
Yeah.
purposes. For instance, the shoulder graphics that go up during CheckPoint. It's concerning when people are abusing it.
The PUBG events mode is on the test server right now, or is it live now? I can't actually recall. I'm in for it.
There's lots of PUBG.
I'm excited.
There's lots of PUBG news. They're also bringing a smaller 4x4 kilometer, like a 16-kilometer square map.
Oh, I'm stoked for the new map
battles.
too. Oh, it's live? Sweet. Yeah, I'm stoked for the new map. PUBG Mobile has been really interesting.
Andrew says it's live.
Sweet. PUBG Mobile is super cool. There's a, they have a sort of a learning curve on ramping thing because they're mobile controls, so they're a little bit weird. By the way, I actually think the mobile controls are pretty good considering it's not like PUBG but the mobile version. It's the same as the PC version, and in some cases it runs better than the PC version and has way more quality of life improvements.
I see.
It's with both PUBG and
Fortnite.
Yeah, like we made fun of Fortnite being like, it's going to be on mobile with no controller support.
Yeah.
That's going to be shitty. But both Fortnite and PUBG, I keep hearing everyone being like, it's actually weirdly good.
Now, Fortnite, you can get paired against cross-platform.
That's true.
Which is terrible. But, so anyway, the
Oh, dear.
on-ramping thing is when you first start, it puts you in a game still with 100 other enemies, most of whom are bots. There will be some people in there, but most of whom are bots who do not pose a huge threat to get you into sort of understanding how it runs and how to operate it and everything. And then as you play more, you get paired against fewer and fewer bots. So like
That's actually very elegant.
yeah, my first game I got second. My second game I won, and then my third game I was like top 10 or something like that. And I was like, oh man, I'm rocking at this, and then I went and saw the bots thing. But I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, because this dude just wearing like no clothes just sort of walked up and was like, I'm standing here and trying to shoot at you and failing. But then at the end of the game, people were like really teched up and using strategies and stuff. And so it's like, you know, it's the idea that the more you play, then you'll start to play more and more people. I think is great. It makes a lot of sense.
One, it like onboards you for using the controls in a like, because the problem was if you die right away, then you don't get a chance to learn how the game works and like learn how to pick things up and change your equipment. But at the same time, you know, it also gives you that reward. So you think you're awesome at PUBG and want to keep playing.
Yeah, it would be good, as Sim mentioned in the chat. Like obviously the fact that they didn't sort of tell people they're doing that seems a little weird.
I guess I'm not offended by it like some people seem to be.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it would make sense to actually maybe highlight the guy, like if the person you're fighting is a bot, maybe have them look different or something.
Or just like be like, hey, you know, do you have like 3 training matches or something like that, where you know, where it's like, okay, this is like the first game you play is labeled as a training match, and it says some of the players in here are AIs, right? You don't have to be like, so you can learn how to play the game. Just, you know, call it a starter match or something like that. You know, it's honestly a really good solution to a lot of problems, including like stickiness and like onboarding and like getting people used to new controls, because probably a lot of people have played on PC before, and you know, it's a complicated game with a lot of things that you need to do on mobile. There's no controller. Yeah. Like it's a great, it's very elegant. It's just been marketed badly.
Well, yeah, I think making people think that they're playing against real people when they're playing against bots is a little bit weird. Like it's not a huge deal, but it's kind of.
I got like 9 kills in my first game.
But it does have a slightly sort of scummy edge to it, which I don't like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I think if they had told you, nobody would find it scummy. They'd be like,
yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That was Paul's point. So yeah, so that's interesting. The Sea of Thieves stuff is cool. So the way the brig thing works, I'm amazed that they didn't. I mean, I didn't watch all 8 hours of it, so I'm amazed that they didn't do this when they were streaming here last week. That they didn't just vote to like put Ben into the brig, because it's the whole ship can just be like, should we put this guy in the brig? Like, you can kick them, but you can be like, can we put this guy in the brig? And then put them in the brig and be like, okay, stop doing the bad things. But you can also, as Paul was saying, if you like take off and leave someone behind, they can like swim after you to catch up. Or if they're left behind somewhere, you can vote to put them in the brig, and they get teleported to the brig, and then you can just let them out onto the ship.
Oh, it's a dual purpose tool. That's very elegant.
Yeah.
Ben specifically.
And then,
remember.
Couldn't put Adam in the brig. He was too busy being funny.
If you're going on a mission, put Ben in the brig so that he doesn't betray you.
Yeah. And then you can,
there is a minimum brig time, but still.
You can scuttle your own ship, which is not. It's not like there's a negative to that. Like you lose stuff on the ship, obviously. That's so that it's not like, oh no, I'm getting attacked later, you know. But if people just keep after you, then you can actually get away from them. Though I did see, because if you have the in-game voice chat turned on, you can hear the people on the other ship. And I saw someone playing with like an air raid, with like a air raid siren and like a echo effect on their voice, and they were like, "Attention! This is the sea police. Please pull over!" And they started shooting at them. They're like, "Oh, you've messed up now!" It was really funny.
I like that. The Sea of Thieves things actually made me think of. I think we did it as a story. Probably more than a year ago now, but Final Fantasy XIV, the online one.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Final Fantasy XIV had a thing where mods could dungeon people. Like rather than banning somebody from the server, they would just be like, bam, and you get teleported to like a 10 by 10 room with like dank stone walls.
Yeah.
And and if you log out and like log back in, you just log back into that spot and you can't get out of
we
it.
did a story about that.
Yeah.
Sort of the same idea as the brig, but like more excessive.
And send you to Mordian Jail.
Oh, that was in 11 as well?
Nice. And then, man, the deep Sonic lore.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
It's not super funny, but it's
unofficial.
interesting.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, I want somebody to translate their entire presentation because, like, there's lots of stories online, and I use Kotaku summary, which is why I think I mentioned Kotaku, yeah. Basically, there's, like, this full slide of text with some illustrations, and basically everybody gave the same sort of TLDR, which means that the actual, like, people at the presentation, what were their names? Yasuhara and Oshima. He just gave like, this is basically the high points of it, but I want to read all that lore.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly the Tails airplane makes a lot of sense.
Well, and it's the, like, it really made me think of, like, you know, the sort of mid-era Sonic games that were really weird. You know, Sonic and the Black Knight and Sonic 2006 was the one.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
And Sonic and, like, the Werehog and stuff. Like, that kind of thing where it's like, it turns out that it's actually a story within a story. Like, that totally would have fit into that thing. By which I mean, it would have been really weird.
Oh no, wait, like, that's, like, Sonic 2006 is when the author's, like, getting really old and starting to lose it, and that now, like, Sonic Mania is, like, that now her kid is writing the books now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Bill Keane
Yeah,
situation.
exactly what I was thinking. Oh no.
But here's the thing, like, which I didn't use. So they tested out, because they had the game and they wanted, because it was going to be a Sega mascot, they wanted him to do an attack that was sort of like non-damaging, which is where they wanted to do the roll. And so they didn't know what animal would do a roll, so they tested it with a bunch of things. And so they went around New York. This is not in the story because it just didn't fit. And they just showed it to like random people who were like American because they wanted Americans to like it, and had them tell them which character design they liked best. And Hedgehog won, so that was what they went with. Mustache Man was second, and that became Eggman.
Huh.
How I love it.
But there's already a game mascot, like a game company mascot with a mustache. Mario, don't make crummy.
We're gonna make our
Mario.
own mustache. We're gonna make our own mustache dude. Check him out.
Yeah.
I just like that it's like, okay, they start from, we want to have the character roll. And like hedgehogs can roll up into balls, okay. Armadillo sort of works. You know, armadillos roll up into a ball. But then like all the other, like if you're starting from, I want a thing that can roll, some of the like old guy with a mustache, I forget what the other ones that they were thinking, like a lot of non-rolling animals.
Hedgehog, armadillo, porcupine, they do not roll up. A dog,
Yeah.
not known for roll. I mean, rolling laterally, but not the useful way. Yeah. Hey, speaking of pirates, a not Sea of Thieves pirate story.
So those are the stories we do.
Yeah, sorry. RuneScape is finally wrapping up a 13-year-long quest arc. I mean, basically, yeah.
It's nice that like RuneScape's got the history, so they can always they're always, it's like, yeah, we've been doing this for longer than everybody.
They didn't, by the way, they didn't set out to make it last 13 years. It's just, that's just how it sort of progressed.
It's like every once in a while they'll release an update that adds another
chapter
to this quest. But imagine like you started that quest like 10 years ago, and then you like got it. It's like, what? There's no end to the like. The quest chain doesn't end. That's dumb. Like I don't do the thing. Like I don't solve the problem. What the hell?
But now it does. Good job.
And then so and they said that it sounds pretty cool too. It's like this like sort of Cthulhu almost mythos thing of like zombie pirates with when there's like giant monsters and stuff. Like it sounds like it's actually pretty dope.
It sounds like it's pretty dope. Stifles yawn from other end of the table.
A bunch of, just because you don't care about it.
I'm just tired.
I know.
So I'm drinking coffee. Maybe all the coffee I've had this morning is upsetting my stomach.
takes another pull off the...
Penelope woke up very early.
She did, yeah. All hopped up on owls.
So we talked last week about Ninja and Drake doing their ridiculously popular Twitch stream of Fortnite.
Over 610,000 people, I think.
But that's nothing.
Yeah.
Because just this last week, this was on YouTube, not on Twitch, but on a YouTube streamer got together. He's a very, very popular. He has over 20 million subscribers.
El Rubius?
Yeah.
El Rubius?
A Spanish Fortnite streamer basically like sent out a call and got the 100 most successful, popular, skilled or whatever Fortnite, Spanish-speaking Fortnite streamers, and they all
So it's
played
like an all-star stream.
They played in game, and his stream. So the main guy's stream had over 1 million people watching,
Holy.
presumably a good chunk of the 100 other people playing also were running streams, who also had tons of people watching. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So apparently people like Fortnite. There's another story that we didn't do, but now that Fortnite is on mobile, it's apparently causing some serious issues in schools.
Fortnite and PUBG Mobile is a problem.
So,
For,
I mean,
for
Fortnite
teenagers.
specifically, just
There
because
are-
I guess more kids are into it.
well, also PUBG Mobile only just came out.
Right.
There are different aspects to the story. In one way, students playing stuff on their phones is no different than playing Pokemon on Game Boy in class. You know,
Passing notes.
This is
reading comics.
Yeah, this is merely on one axis. This is merely the latest thing that kids are distracted with during class.
Yeah.
On the other axis, it's ruining school's Wi-Fi,
Yeah. So one ruining school's Wi-Fi,
which is a new twist.
Yeah,
And-
RIP school Wi-Fi is a common dirge
Yeah.
and
element.
they're saying that the problem is it's combining like the two most distracting time sinks that they're having problems with kids being not paying attention with are Instagram or Snapchat. Sorry, not Instagram. Snapchat and
Well, not the way their stock is going.
and Fortnite.
Yeah.
And the problem is that they're self-reinforcing because you do Fortnite stuff and then you post the Fortnite stuff to Instagram or to Snapchat. And the other thing with Fortnite is that it's not even you're not even playing Fortnite necessarily, right? Because it's such a big spectator thing as well.
Yeah. So you'll have lots of kids like crowded around.
Yeah.
Or people
like
just
in
watching it
class.
on their own phones.
Yeah.
And I guess when I was
Some enterprising fuck behind a guy who's good at Fortnite with his phone out streaming to Twitch, other people watching streamers' Twitch
smart.
channel in class.
That is smart.
And when you've, and we're at the point now with technology in the world where they can't really like outlaw kids having phones.
No, but you can block the right, like you
Yeah,
can-
but like when I was in high school, they said just like no phones in class.
Yeah. Which affected like maybe 2 people.
Yeah.
yeah, because we're old.
And they were like, you could have your phone in your, like, you could have a cell phone, like, in your locker if you really wanted to or something. Or, like, for emergencies or whatever. But now, of course, everybody, everyone has to have their phones. And they can say don't use them in class.
Phones also didn't do anything useful or interesting then.
yeah,
Right,
like
exactly.
you could T9.
You just put it in your bag and not
You
care.
could text, I guess.
I got real quick at T9 before the
Before
iPhone
that
came
was
out.
an irrelevant skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would guess that port blocking Fortnite is definitely a thing that people will do. And then, of course, people will come up with proxies and stuff. But anyway. Other stuff.
That was most of it.
It was a little light on news this week because, of course, it's GDC, so it's less like, look at the things that's happening, and GDC is more like the Sonic story, where it's like, here's a really interesting, in-depth presentation that is not easily summarizable and not particularly amusing because it's actually interesting,
Oh, actually, there's a thing really cool. Barts Tale 4.
Oh, yeah, this was cool.
Which is a game that was kickstarted, and the chronology of the Barts Tale games is a little bit weird because it was one of those games that like beloved, very very old games, and then like some more recent ones done by other people completely differently, and they sucked.
Yeah.
But then the original people did this Kickstarter for Barts Tale 4, and one of the really interesting, unique, like it's a sort of old school RPG dungeon crawler type thing.
Yeah.
But one of the really interesting things that they're doing is inspired by those like escape room, like those games where it's like little puzzles you have to solve to like do things. Certain magic items that you get, like a magical sword, will be like a puzzle sword. And so it'll just be like a regular magic sword, and it'll be kind of fine. But when you like examine it in the view, you can then like go even closer, and like the hilt will be like what are those, like a cryptograph?
Oh yeah.
Or like one of the things where you have to like rotate all the things to like, it'll be like a puzzle. You have to like rotate all the stuff, and then if you get into the right thing, then like a little animation of like a special thing opens and like poison goes onto the blade. So now it's like a
That's so cool.
now it's like a poison sword, or it gets electricity. You know, it gets some sort of upgrade. And apparently weapons can have like two or three even different puzzles. Some of which are like a puzzle on the actual sword, and then there's also ones that like open up quest trains and stuff. And apparently it's all like procedurally generated, and also taking into account your previous, like, so if you've if you've solved a certain type of puzzle before, you probably won't get it like when you get a new sword, it probably won't have that same puzzle on it again.
That seems like a.
That's delightful.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
Basically, he's saying they wanted a magical weapon to be like the start of a adventure, rather than the end, rather than the reward at the end of the adventure. Seems like kind of a neat idea. But yeah. Anyway, yes, yeah. Of course, when I said escape rooms, I meant escape rooms in the computer, in the game sense, in the like video game sense.
Oh, the like yeah.
Which, and obviously the real world games are just trying to emulate what used to be on computers, on consoles, like
that style of puzzle.
Style of puzzle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
it sounds like it's anyway a fun idea to sort of add an element to game. So yeah, I think that was most of the stuff that has been going on. I have no idea how you do it, but there was one of the sources of, wow, that's really cool. I can't think of anything funny to go along with it, but it's a cool thing that you should check out. I think it's before GDC. There's like a sort of alt GDC one that, you know, it's sort of like a not official but semi-official, like the you know, Slam Dance versus Sundance or whatever, right? Before, and there was a special GDC. There was a thing that was just like games with weird ass control schemes, with like alternative control schemes. And so there's like an article I was reading about. There's like a game where it's a VR. In the sense of like it's like a hologram skateboarding game, and you control it with one of the little like finger deck skateboards.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's extremely weird.
There was one that the game. This seems like a very terrible thing to have at a convention floor. The game, how the game, it's a two-player game. It's a cooperative game. One person gets inside a coffin, and they have a cell phone that has a limited battery life, and you have to like use the cell phone to attempt to tell the other person basically where you are. And
that sounds awful.
And the other person can has things that they can like send out like search parties and different things like that. It's basically like the most like horrifying situation but a game and fun.
No!
Yeah.
Wow.
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 Yeah, Andrew, I'd try that out. Sounds sweet.
That sounds like my jam so much.
Dale is not into it.
Nope.
Nope,
Yeah, I'm
nope.
in camp. Nope. I'm camping. Nope.
Yeah, keep talking.
Camp
nobody,
nope.
Camp. Nope.
keep talking and nobody gets buried alive.
Yeah.
No, the burying alive already happened. It's
Yeah.
whether you get rescued from being buried alive.
Well, that sounds like it's going to do it for the CheckPoint stream today.
Yes,
We should
Alt,
welcome some subs.
Alt Control GDC. That is correct. That is the thing.
Yes, we will. Later tonight, in fact...
We have something very exciting.
Yeah.
Look, I'm doing my double dab.
Also just yawning.
In a little over 2 hours' time, it is a beginning of a new, smaller adventure on Dice Friends. It is Murder on the Simolo Plateau.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. Yes, Cameron.
Bembo did it.
Cameron is DMing. Dande believes Bembo did it. Cameron is DMing, and our players are Kathleen, Ian, Corey, and Ben as all new characters.
All new characters. No more Mora for now.
Yeah, and we're excited for that. And then there'll be another thing after that. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to want to tune in for that.
I have an all new character, and they're great.
Yeah.
Well, he's great.
Yes. Law and Order SVU, Simolo victims.
Basically, yeah. So, tune in for that. But now, let's do the subs.
Starting with Son of Thoth, or Tote, for 2 months.
No, for 24
Wait,
months.
24, 2 years.
Huh.
Cyber Egg for 20 months.
Andrew. Hey, Andrew. 29-month resub. Little known fact, the deodorant brand Sure invented the Super Dab back in the 80s.
That's worthy of a super dab.
Stormshot 14 for 11 months.
Alpine Air.
The Angry Red Bird for 7 months says, holy crap, I got the messages to work. Weird since the resub was during LRL, but whatever. 7 months. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Stephen JM81. Welcome back for 14 months. Thank you.
CGS Guy 2 for 18 months. May your chitinous exoskeleton be ever shiny.
And Emergent OS for 3 months says, thank you sincerely for the years of laughter and tears, bracket of laughter and bracket exclamation point.
Branston 567 with a 3-month resub.
And his legendary pickle.
Cryptocopter for 16 months. Owls. Everyone is fond of owls.
It's true.
Not mice.
Arzl for 4 months says, me dances.
A Foz with a 14-month resub says, hey-o. Hey. Hey-o.
Northos for 9 months. Welcome back.
I said Ben was playing. That's you.
Oh, Soj King Yusup for 20 months.
Neko Daimyo with a 4-month resub. Finally, a stream to confirm my continued everlasting love for LRR. Thank you so much.
Silly One Now for 25 months.
Lord Byron 47 for 17 months. I can't read chat and do this at the same time.
Peter 200 Alex with an 18-month resub. All of the news that's fit to make fun of. Yes, indeedy. That's what we're here for.
Party God for 10 months. I now have this 1-month-old sub baby and almost forgot to sub when you were live.
Sub babies are distracting. Sal Raven 3248 has subscribed for 15 months in a row. Thank you.
The Bentutsi with a 50-month resub. Sup, it's a sub. Well, it's a resub. Resub? Resub. Resub.
And thank you for 211 bits from Rock Pusher, Earthen One, and Foxmar 320.
Yay!
And to clarify, because Astra was asking about it, there will be another adventure after this Dice Friends adventure.
Yes.
This one is probably going to go 3 sessions. And then there'll be another smaller scope adventure following that. Not that there's something else after that stream tonight.
Yes.
So that's 5 p.m. Pacific, and as such, we're going to go get lunch right now.
Basically, we're playing D&D from now on.
Basically.
Or, well, we're role playing. We've got a lot of D&D set up and ready to go. That's not saying there won't be other things that are happening and other like systems being played. But for now, there's a lot of D&D coming your way. But the actual like adventures may be longer or shorter. So
Dragon, I'm not sure why that's not popping up, but thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome back. I can tell from your sub badge.
And Oh, and by the way, we got Kathleen and Heather on Great Detective Pikachu, or whatever, no.
Detective Pikachu.
So, isn't it something Detective Pikachu? Anyway.
New Day Tuesday tomorrow.
Yeah.
New Day Tuesday tomorrow.
We're playing Detective
with
Pikachu.
weirdly low voice Pikachu.
Apparently he loves coffee.
I'm a
Yeah.
Pikachu.
He's a Pikachu with a nose for the streets. And he's got something to prove.
Pikachu.
And Penelope is
Will
still
this one
very
be
fond of
spoilers
owls.
if I'm catching up to VODs from the previous campaigns?
Maybe a little bit,
I don't think
but not
so.
a huge amount. Because there's a new mayor, which is a bit of a spoiler.
Well,
But the thing is, that's right in the beginning.
no, it's not. Nothing.
That doesn't affect our camp.
I don't know because I'm not Cameron, but as far as I'm aware, nothing that happens in Escape from Samola Plateau is reflected in this.
Yeah. Obviously, the setting is the same.
Samola Plateau,
and things that happened in Escape from Samola Plateau may have had a effect on this world.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
But
problem.
they're not directly
because apparently Dale and
connected.
Cameron were having a lot of meetings.
Yeah. So.
That's true. Maybe it's a prequel.
Oh, shit, that's true, actually.
Anyway, thank you, everybody, for...
Inventory does point out, Dale said it was originally supposed to be a murder mystery, and then we resoundingly ignored his plot and decided to do our own thing, remember?
We had stuff to do.
No, we just farted around for 5 sessions.
Yeah.
we were doing stuff.
Yeah, we had stuff to do.
We almost went to the Shadow Realm with some sort of dark elf.
Ooh. By the way, Graham, you just move your head a little bit. I'm very happy. See the spinny thing on the background and the spinny thing down there are now spinning in sync with each other.
Oh, wow.
These are the kind of things that keep you busy all day.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 weeks of work well spent.
Love it.
All right.
See you later.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.